The ridge was a spine of jagged granite that tore at my boots. My lungs felt like they were filled with crushed glass, and the wind, a biting 28 Fahrenheit, was turning the sweat on my neck into a shroud of ice. I needed a hole, a place where the wind couldn't carry my scent, and the moonlight couldn't find my face. I found it under the twisted roots of a dead white oak, not a cave, but a rusted manhole cover, camouflaged by decades of leaf mold and a heavy, rotted tarp. I pried it open with the obsidian shard, the screech of metal on metal sounding like a dinner bell to anything within 5 miles. I dropped down, falling 6 feet onto a floor of cold, dry concrete. The air down here was stale preserves since the fallout scares of the 80s, smelling of graphite, gunpowder, and old paper. I clicked on a brass penlight I found on a shelf. The beam cut through the dark like a blade. This wasn't just a storm cellar. It was a prepper's final stand. Across the cramped 8 by 10-foot room, the walls were lined with gear that felt like a gift from a dead man. A heavy-duty crossbow with a compound pulley system. Beside it, a wooden box marked Vermin Control. Inside weren't just bolts, they were tipped with silver-plated broadheads. The silver was tarnished, dull and grey, but it felt strangely warm to the touch. Rows of mason jars filled with dried wolfsbane and concentrated capsicum spray. Industrial-strength stuff meant to stop a grizzly in its tracks. A Kevlar-lined tactical vest, stiff with age but solid. I cinched it tight, feeling the weight settle over my ribs like a protective hand. In the center of the small table sat a leather-bound notebook. I flipped it open to the last entry, dated November 1994. They think they own these woods because they have the teeth. They forget that man invented the fire. If you find this, you're being hunted. Don't run. They love the run. It pumps the heart, makes the meat sweet. Stand in the dark. Make them come to you. Use the flashbangs in the green locker. Their eyes are 10 times more sensitive than ours blind them, and they're just overgrown dogs. I didn't feel like an orphan anymore. I didn't feel like new blood or a yearling. I felt like an exterminator. I took a flare from the locker and cracked it. The room flooded with a violent, crimson light. I looked at my reflection in a cracked shaving mirror. My eyes weren't glowing amber like Kale's. They were clear, cold, and focused. I checked the tension on the crossbow string. Twang. Above me, the scratching started. It wasn't the light padding of a sibling. This was heavy, purposeful. The mother had found the manhole. She was sniffing the rim, her low, vibrating growl shaking the very dust off the ceiling. Come on then, I whispered to the shadows. I'm tired of running.